So another day, another Mauer Der Toten teaser, and this one is quite surprising because we'd actually seen a teaser for this a while back, because the head of this item that we're going to go over here was actually an artifact intel on Outbreak that I had assumed was just a part of the armory. Gotta stop myself here because I actually double checked this, and it's actually not true, because the artifact in Outbreak is actually Yvonne's head and this is Klaus. So they are different things, and Yvonne is actually what I thought it was, and it was to the arsenal. So ignore everything I say in relation to this artifact going throughout this video. Now I actually want to jump into this teaser itself and discuss everything there is here to discuss. So as you guys can see, it says Klaus on the top left. We do know that this is made by Requiem because it has that exact same thing from previous blueprints, versus Unnatural Science Division, Office of Requiem, DT and S, I believe, or DS and S, or T, excuse me. I can't exactly see exactly what it says here, but either way, we know it was built by Requiem. Right after that, we do see a little picture of Klaus's face, and what it says is, must be delivered to Berlin, safe house ASAP. So that actually confirms a lot of things. One, that there is a Requiem safe house in Berlin, which is interesting to note because, as you guys know, with our characters that are in Berlin, Requiem didn't send them there, instead Omega did. So it looks like we may find some connection with Requiem while we are playing the map. But as for the Klaus item itself, it actually turns out that Klaus is kind of an android, and what it seems to be is kind of like the android from, what's the map called? Alpha Omega, if you guys remember that, or maybe you could even think about the Shadows of Evil android thing that helps you out there, that you pay for and comes help. So I think it's going to be similar to that, but I don't want to just leave it at that, because as you guys can see also on the screen, there's a lot of things mentioned about this. And first are the version 1.853 notes, and then after that, the outstanding issues, and we'll go over all of these. First, starting off with the features. So what it says is the latest version prototype has improved performance in several critical areas. The first one being dramatic improvement to marksmanship. Hand-to-hand combat has seen some significant improvements. Will now obey basic orders. Durability and strength have seen improvements by 80%, and core hardware less resistance to modifications and system updates. So before we move on to the outstanding issues, let's first talk about everything that's mentioned here. So as I said, it does seem like this is going to be an android that walks around with you, kind of killing zombies again, like the things from Shadows of Evil or Alpha Omega. And so I think this confirms it with the mixture, or how they say that there is improved to marksmanship and hand-to-hand combat, and will obey orders, and also the durability has been increased. So I think all of that confirms exactly what I expected to see out of this. But then the last one is interesting, because the last one says core hardware less resistance to modifications and system updates. So to me, what this means is that it can be upgraded while we are playing the map Mauer Der Toten. So that's something we're going to have to keep our eyes on while we are playing this map. But now let's move on to the outstanding issues, because these are a little funny. So the first one says, highly irritable, still lashes out violently at provoked or when feeling self-conscious. Prone to mood swings, resulting in an increase of unsolicited opinions and complaints when bored. Sometimes Klaus's train of thought verges on existential crisis. Advice: don't let Klaus be alone with his own thoughts for too long. Do not hug, handshake, or high-five Klaus. Has no concept of human fragility. So this is interesting, because this actually may be the first time we ever had like an in-game character inside of Cold War zombies, because it seems like a lot of things mentioned there on that second or this outstanding issues is going to be kind of interesting, because I can imagine they're going to write in a lot of funny quotes and stuff like that, because especially the point where he says if you leave him bored, he'll give unsolicited opinions and complaints. So I can imagine if you're like doing an Easter egg step with someone holding the last zombie or something, then he's just going to be like just saying something like, like a complaint or something that's going to be kind of funny. So I'm really excited for that, because we haven't had that at all in Cold War. But another thing that I can't wait to see is you can't leave him alone, because his thoughts verge on existential crisis. So that's going to be kind of funny. And also there's the part where he starts lashing out and being, I guess, provoked or when feeling self-conscious, which is a whole thing on its own. So overall, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to be for gameplay, because if anybody who has played Shadows of Evil or Alpha Omega would tell you that items like this in the past were pretty garbage, but maybe in terms of story and just entertainment, he might actually be pretty cool and actually give us some character to these maps, because as everyone knows, the operators don't really give off too much characters. So in terms of story, I'm excited to see how this all plays out, but in terms of gameplay, I'm not sure. I'm excited to see what the upgrades are that you could do to it in game, so that'll be interesting, but overall, not sure exactly how it's going to play out in game. But that's about it for this teaser. I'd love to hear what you guys think of Klaus and how he's going to play in Mauer Der Toten, and how he's probably going to play a big part in the Easter egg. But regardless, that's about it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all the great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, whatever the heck it may be, and laters, guys.